that we're using, does the Most High hear sinners? In John 9:31, it says, now we know that the Most High heareth not sinners. But if any man be a worshiper of the Most High, and doth his will, him he heareth. Okay? So, here's something that should be understood about the word worship. Okay? In the etymology, the word worship comes from the word work, ship. It means to do a work. The K is missing. Okay? So in order to do a form of worship, you must work to get into that understanding of worshiping the Father. Okay? So we're all worshipers. Okay? So that means that there's laws involved. When it comes to sinning, if you sin as an Israelite, you are breaking the Most High's laws. Now we know that the Most High heareth not sinners, but if any man be a worshiper of the Most High and doth his will, him he heareth. Okay, so that's important. So that's why I said many people don't know the Bible. They think that the Most High is all love. The Most High has emotions just like us. As someone who is so tiny on this earth, and the Most High is so great in the heavens, if we are made after his image, that means that he also has emotions just like us. He loves, he hates, right? He has jealousy, he has hatred, he has enmity. You know, he has all these different feelings. As you read the scriptures, you see that, especially when you go against his word. The Most High said he hated Esau, he loved Jacob. So we have to understand, we're just like the Father, but on a very small scale. Let's go to Sirach chapter 39 in the Apocrypha. This is the work that we're doing now. Going through these scriptures is a worship. We are worshiping him now by learning him, taking this little bit of time out of our day to set aside for him. That's our job and our duty to worship him. Okay, Sirach 39, verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies. That's what keeps us going. We want to know. We want to know what's coming next. It's a form of occupation. You want to know what the Most High says, so you can see what's going to happen next. When you look at all the prophets, they all ask the same thing. What should be the end of the times? And when shall it happen? That's what all the prophets said. That's why it says, and be occupied in prophecies. Your mind should be always occupied on what the Most High is bringing. Think, if the prophets never asked, the angels wouldn't have never, the Most High would have never sent angels on the earth to show the prophecies to them. If they never asked or never sought it out. Daniel sought it out. Ezra sought it out. He wanted to know what was coming. Isaiah, Habakkuk, all of them. That's our duty. You talk to some people, they don't want to know prophecies. They're like, man, don't tell me. I just want to be in my own little understanding. Some people don't want to see the end times. They're afraid of it. They're not occupied in finding out what's going on. They're content with this world. So it's our job to seek and worship him, to find out what's next, to graduate and find out what he's going to bring, his blessings, his offerings. You ever notice when we were born, we always like shiny things. You babies, they love shiny objects. You give a baby something that's shiny, they try to grab it, put it in their mouth, right? That's us being around the Most High in the spirit world. That brightness, we always wanted to be around him, to get to him, that brightness, that love. Babies come into the world with that same energy. They want to see brightness, they want to see love, they love new things. And so you go your whole life looking for that, or yearning for that brightness, or trying to get to it. Your whole life, even to the time of death, you're always looking for it. That's why Solomon wrote about Ecclesiastes, how everything is the same thing. Nothing, we keep looking and stretching for that newness, and all we get is the same stuff. We get tired of the stuff that we learn because it's not the Most High. But in these scriptures are continuous. You never finish the book, because why? The Most High put enough information in this book for us to stretch and learn to get his light, and give it to somebody else who's also stretching to learn and get that light. That's our job. That's our duty. So if you're going to ask for forgiveness of sins, you have to search for the Most High. You have to want to seek him in order to be purified. If you're not trying to seek him, you're in darkness. Why give something to somebody who is not looking for the light? They're dead. That's why he says they're dead beings. They're dead people, because they're not looking for the Most High. So we have to understand that. All right? Ecclesiasticus chapter 39, verse 2. He will keep the sayings of the renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also. Let's go to verse 5. He will give his heart to resort early to the Most High that made him. See that? You're going to continue to look for him if you have the mindset of the Most High to find him. It says, and will pray before the Most High, and will open his mouth in prayer, and make supplication for his sins. When the great Most High thy power will, he shall be filled with the spirit of understanding. He's going to suffice you with the understanding that you need. He shall pour out wise sentences, and give thanks unto the Most High in his prayer. He shall direct his counsel in knowledge, and in the secrets shall he meditate. The Most High is going to give you that blessing. He's going to give you that understanding when you meditate in him, not when you meditate in these other gods. Yeah, some of these people that meditate, Noreng-yo, all that crazy stuff. Buddhism and Taoism, right? So we have to understand what the Most High is asking for, what he's telling us to look for in order to get to him. Let's go back into the scriptures of the New Testament. Let's go to 1 John. So he said he heareth not sinners. See? The book of 1 John, chapter 2, verse 3. And hereby we do know that we know him, if we keep his commandments. He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him. But whoso keepeth his word, in him verily is the love of the Most High perfected. Hereby know we that we are in him. He that saith he abideth in him, ought himself also so to walk, even as he walked. So we have to be as the Most High. We have to look for him. We have to follow him like YAHAWASHI did. Understand this first. For all the novices out there, the Most High needs men and women to desire after him before giving that person the gifts of the Spirit. Become a journeyman or a union member in the Most High. I mean, in order to be a journeyman, you have to seek after that trade. All right? Carpentry, plumbing, union members. In order to be a part of a union member, you have to have an art in order to be in that union. Right? So to speak, first before taking on a task as a teacher, you got to seek him first and his understanding. Let's go to Romans. Romans chapter 10. Book of Romans chapter 10, and let's drop down to 13. Romans 10 and 13. For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Most High shall be saved. Right? So who is the whoever? The whoever is whoever. Whoever of who? Israel. That's the whoever. How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher? Okay, how are you going to hear this without a preacher? So when you think about how you got into this truth, most of us heard the truth from somebody or someone before we started picking up the Bible and learning it on our own or seeking after him. We had to go through him. Hold on 1 second, Doctor. 1 second. It's like that, I do. All right, so, like I said, most of us had to hear from someone in order to get into the truth. Someone had to teach us the truth. So once you got it, you ran with it. And you studied, and you did your research, you know, to confirm what whoever was teaching you was the truth. That's what we have to do, is confirm things through research. That's why you don't see me jump on a brother right away when they do their own research. I'd rather a brother research something just to show himself that, you know, he has to confirm it. He has to search out his own, he has to seek out his own salvation. So when a brother is searching in the beginning, I let them be. Okay? I let them be because they need to search. They need to find, they need to look for that understanding within themselves first. Okay? And hopefully the brethren will come back. But that's a good thing to study. It's kind of like being in a classroom. You go, you have your kids, they go, your children, they go to school. Most children, when they go to a school and they go into a class, they get a textbook. Most of them don't go outside of the studies that they get from their teacher. But you get some children, they get that book and they go all the way through it. They go everywhere in that textbook just to find out understanding that the teacher is not telling them within that textbook. But then they come back. They have to always come back to the lessons to understand what the teacher's teaching them. So that's all I'm saying. With the scriptures, you should be able to read for yourself throughout the Bible. But when we have lessons, that should strengthen you. That should strengthen you in your understanding as we walk. So that's why it's good to understand by listening and hearing and then studying. Okay, let's go back to verse 15. That's why also too, a lot of you brethren, if you look at a lot of other sisters and brothers who are in other doctrines, I'll say, like some of these bigger Israelite congregations, a lot of times there's so much control over the brethren where they can't have any wiggle room to study anything else. Because they're locked in and there's, no, don't do that. No, don't do this. No, don't do that. And you never grow. You never really grow spiritually or get that confidence to understand. Okay? You never get that confidence on your own to understand because you're constantly getting the confidence of that one person. That's why the Most High says, though you have many teachers in the truth, we all have one schoolmaster, which is Hamashiach YAHAWASHI. We all come to him. Okay? But there's nothing wrong with learning with one particular camp if they don't have that dominating spirit. Okay? So we try to, here at LIONSROAR, we try to just let you walk on your own. But we give you enough food to get you through the week or get you through the next week. So we can all be on one frame of mind. But it's good to study with brother like YAHAWAH. I understand YAHAWAH goes to the Indian reservation. Why? To try to get those brothers into the truth. So he has to sometimes sit with them brethren in order to win them over. Even if they deviate a little bit outside of that line of the scriptures, if he's researching himself, he'll be able to catch them by the wayside and bring them back to the doctrine. You understand? So it's just a form of growing. Verse 15, Romans 10 and 15. And how shall they preach except they be sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings of good things. But they have not all obeyed the gospel. For Isaiah saith, the Most High who have believed our report, right? So the report is always the same. When you look at the doctrine of the prophets, it's always the same report. From Job to Isaiah to the disciples to today, it's the same report. We don't deviate too much, okay? You should be able to know when you're going too far out before snapping back to the scriptures to understand this is our report. This is the doctrine that we follow. Look at Yahawashi. That's your filter. Filter everything through him and what he says. Paul, yes, follow Paul, but Paul loses a lot of people because people don't understand the sophistication of Paul. Paul is a very intelligent individual. So a lot of people miss what Paul is saying. So for a lot of new brethren, if you have a difficulty understanding Paul, like Ephesians and Galatians, go back to Hamashiach, go back to Christ, and he'll explain it for you, okay? For example, Paul speaks in 1 Corinthians chapter 7 on marriage. So does Yahawashi. Go back to the scriptures in Matthew and learn what Yahawashi said. So you have to precept it, okay? Let's read verse 17. So then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of the Most High. But I say, have they not heard? Yes, verily. Their sound went into all the earth, and their words unto the ends of the world. That's our mission. Push this word to the end of the world, end of the earth. We got brothers contacting us all the time because they are learning the scriptures and they're in agreement with what we're teaching. Okay, they're in agreement with it because they know in their spirit that this is the truth and this is the right way to teach. Okay, so we have to understand the report that the prophets brought so we could do the same thing. Go back up to Romans, go back to Romans chapter 10, verse 11. Let's read 11. It says, for the scriptures saith, whosoever believeth on him shall not be ashamed. All right, so the Israelites are not going to be ashamed. It says that we are not going to be ashamed, world without end, right? Isaiah 29:22. So he says, whosoever and whoever. Remember, this Bible is speaking to Israel, okay? There's a lot of people who don't understand that this Bible is only speaking to Israel. Now, are Gentiles, is this word going to fall on deaf ears of Gentiles? Sure, they're going to hear it too. But the way that the world is going, a lot of our people are already stuck in concepts. Do you understand that when you are born, when you come out your mother's womb in the hospital, they already are brainwashing you? As soon as you come out the womb, what color do they have out waiting on a boy? What type of blanket? What color is that blanket if it's a boy? Blue. As soon as you come out of the womb, that blanket is blue. Right? You come out the womb and you're a girl, that blanket is pink. You're already being molded as soon as you come out of the womb. That's why Solomon says, and Job says, as soon as the baby come out of the womb, they come out speaking wickedness. You're taught wickedness the minute that you come out. They put on a little hat over your head, a little boy hat. Right? They put on a little onesie, pajamas on the baby, or a little towel, a blue towel around the baby. A boy pacifier, the men get cigars, talking about it's a boy, or it's a girl. Which is true, you are a boy, you are a young boy, and you are a young girl, but there's no mixing of that. Now you start trying to mix everything up. You're trying to mix it up so you don't know what's what. But everything, what I'm saying, why I'm giving you this example is to show you how everything is already fashioned to steer you into a one-way frame of mind. Okay? Put Isaiah 29:22. Isaiah chapter 29, verse 22. Therefore, thus saith the Most High, who redeemed Abraham, concerning the house of Yahuwah, Jacob, Jacob shall not now be ashamed, neither shall his face now wax pale. Well, we know he ain't gonna wax pale, but the Most High says that he'll never be ashamed when he comes into this truth. I haven't been ashamed since I've been in this truth. But when he seeth his children, the work of mine hands in the midst of him, they shall sanctify my name, and sanctify the Holy One of YAHWAH, Jacob, and shall fear the God of Israel. See, that's when you recognize who you are, and they recognize who you are. They're going to fear you. All right, you are the DNA of the Most High. Verse 24, they also that erred in spirit
has arrived
shall come to understanding, and they that murmur shall learn doctrine. Everyone is going to learn doctrine of the Most High when they come face to face with you. When you're in your right mode, they're going to learn it. Some form or fashion. They're going to learn something about the Most High. I was listening to, at my job, we had training on ethics. And I was looking at some of the topics that they were talking about. They were talking about racism. They were talking about nationality. With nationality, they use the same terms that's in the Bible. I said, man, who wrote this lesson? They was talking about the same stuff that's in the scriptures. And if you had not read the scriptures or understood the scriptures, you would never know that it was just a copy of the scriptures. The nationality in this class that I took, it said, and these are people who are from the same stock of their fathers. I said, that's in Numbers chapter 2 and 1. Numbers 2 and 1 says, all of Israel were pitched to the standard of the stock of their fathers. I said, man, where are they getting this stuff from? They're getting it right out the scriptures. So you can almost okey-doke people by rewriting the scriptures right before their eyes in lesson plans and curriculums, and they wouldn't even know it because the world is asleep. They are not learning of the scriptures. And people are making money off the scriptures all day long because people are dumbed down, not knowing the scriptures. That's why I say everybody is walking in darkness. That's why the Most High says he heareth not sinners, because they don't know his word. He heareth them not. They don't seek him. All right. Sirach chapter 35. Let's go there. In the Apocrypha. Sirach chapter 35, verse 16. He that serveth the Most High shall be accepted with favor, and his prayer shall reach unto the clouds. Very important. Very important. Who are the clouds? Is it just plain old clouds? No. Remember what he says. His spirits, his chariots are in the clouds. Verse 17. The prayer of the humble pierceth the clouds until it come near. He will not be comforted and will not depart till the Most High shall behold to judge righteously and execute judgment. So what is the Most High going to do? Execute judgment. Okay? Everything that you do in the scriptures, there is no more unanswered questions. All your questions are answered now that you're in the scriptures. You know what I love the most about the truth? When people come up and ask you questions about the scriptures, you can answer them. You ever wonder why Christians don't go out on the streets and mass groves and teach people? Because most Christians are afraid of conflict of the scriptures because they don't know the scriptures. I remember when I was in the Christian church, I always wondered, how do we go out and teach people? Because I said, I didn't know the scriptures back then. I was like, I don't know where to start. Right? And the pastors back then used to be like, oh, God, he'll show you how to do it. No, if you don't know the scriptures, you ain't going to know how to teach the people. Don't you know you have to study this day in and day out, like the scriptures say? You look at a political science major, anyone in policies and politics, they are studying their craft every day. Every day they're studying that crap. Their policies, their memorandums. In order to get sharp, that's what you have to do in the scriptures. So the Israelites are the first people I ever seen answer questions off the top of their mind using the scriptures, which is awesome, man. That is the most awesome thing in the world I've ever seen. But brothers that say, you're not supposed to go out there on the streets and teach, that don't even make sense to me, man. That don't make sense to me at all. Where are the people at? Out on the streets. When the Most High says go into the busy crowds, he's telling you where to go. He ain't say go out somewhere where ain't nobody at. He say go into the busy plazas, in the gates, where all the people dwell. And preach and speak to them. They're going to come up with questions. And you're going to be able to respond. That's the beauty of the scriptures. That's the beauty of being an Israelite and knowing the scriptures. I didn't know nothing about precepts when I was in a Christian church. What was a precept? I couldn't even tell you what a precept was. But in the truth, being an Israelite, I know what a precept is now. I know how to match it up. Just like a crossword puzzle. Let's go to James. Book of James, chapter 5. Also, you could cross-examine spirits all day long. You can almost tell who got demons on them right off the bat. Off of one response. I was walking through a crowd the other day, and I spoke to this one dude, and he just started screaming right off the top of his head. I said, this dude got demons. He got spirits on him. He just started screaming. It was like I rattled that demon. That demon was asleep until I said something to him. He just woke up. James chapter 5, verse 19. 5 and 19. Brethren, if any of you do err from the truth, and one convert him, let him know that he which converteth the sinner from the error of his way shall save a soul from death, and shall hide a multitude of sins. That is so heavy. Here you are out there on the streets teaching brethren the truth, and you yourself are hiding a multitude of your own sins. How heavy is that? Most High is showing you how to be forgiven. He's showing you that. He's showing you how he hears sinners that repentant. You're repentant even when you're teaching. Who would not want to go out there and tell the truth and have a multitude of their own sins hidden? You know how many sins you accumulate a day when you're out and about dealing with people in the world daily? They start stacking up on you. Think about all these people or bodies or vessels walking around daily who have never repented. Think about how many demons or how many sins they got climbing up to their ears. Heavy, man. And you expect them to go into church and repent one time and leave the church and never know what they're repenting for or how to change it because they don't know the law, statutes, and commandments? Their mind and their heart was in the right place. They may have been forgiven, but as soon as they walk out the church, they're stacking them up again because they don't know what laws they're breaking. Heavy stuff, man. This is heavy, man. Let's go to Sirach again, 35, same chapter. And let's go to verse 13. Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 35 and 13. He will not accept any person against a poor man, but will hear the prayer of the oppressed. What is a poor man? This is twofold. There's two types of poor men. There's one who's a homeless man, and there's one who has the truth, and no one wants to hear him. You're a rich man when you have the truth to a certain degree, Aki, but you're also a poor man when you're alone. Let's see, verse 14. He will not despise the supplication of the fatherless, nor the widow, when she poureth out her complaint. Most High's going to hear them. When you're standing out there teaching, people are repenting because they see the brightness in your eyes. They want to be like you when you're teaching the word. They see that shine, they see that light, man. Verse 14 again. He will not despise the supplication of the fatherless, nor the widow, when she poureth out her complaint. So what are these messages bringing? What type of information? And how, basically on how sinners are to seek him. That's the information they're bringing. They're teaching sinners how to seek the Most High. That's what we're doing. Teaching them how to seek the Most High. You make them ashamed when you start talking about the scriptures, because most brothers be like, yeah, brother, you're right. You know, that's what they say. They know they off. And you make them seek the Most High. All they got to do is hear you. Our people need that more and more today because this world is in a ball of confusion. Proverbs 8. Proverbs chapter 8, verse 17. I love them that love me. Look at that. And those that seek me early shall find me. This is not the love when you say, I love the Most High. That's not that love. I could line up 20 people outside and say, do you love God? All of them will say yes. I'd be like, do you keep the law, statutes, and commandments? All of them will say no. A lot of them will be like, what are the laws? What are the commandments? Some will say, do you mean all the commandments? Some will say, what God you talking about? Some will say, what day is the Sabbath? Is it Sunday? See? Proverbs 8 and 17. I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me. You see that? Most High loves you when you keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. Man, don't ever get sour or down on yourself. Ever in this truth. Don't get down on yourself, Akim. Don't be doubtful. Ever. Y'all got something special, man. It's something we have that nobody else got. There's no reason to be down on yourself, no matter how bad the situation is. You can talk to people where you make them feel bad without even cussing them out. When you bring the truth to their face. When you bring their integrity up. You take your car to the shop and they dog you out by not fixing your car the way you took it. You could go back to them and be like, man, you know, I've been bringing my car here for years. You guys have always provided me good service. What's going on with your service now? Where's your customer service? And you'll make that person look ashamed. See, there's ways to talk to people. To make them think, to make them question themselves, to make them say thank you later as you check them in the spirit. 1 Chronicles chapter 16 verse 11. Seek the Most High and his strength. Seek his face what? Continually. We're supposed to seek him continually. See that? Continually. It's easy to get knocked off your band, off your square. Now, I'm not a Mason, but it's easy to get knocked off of that. If you following the evil ways of the world, alcohol could do it. Easy. Alcohol could turn around and make you use drugs. Y'all know that? Certain women for you men could turn around and make you fall all the way back down to where you started from. Certain men for certain women could do the same thing for women that are in truth. Some of you women mess with the wrong guy being in the truth because you can't find nobody in the truth, and go out there and find an evil man in the world. And because you want to please him, you'll go out to the clubs with him, you'll drink just to blend in, just to keep that man. Before you know it, you've been there, fell out the truth. Just that quick. Following after a man, or you men following after a fine woman. And 4 and 26. 1 Ezra 4 and 26. Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women, and become servants for their sakes. See that? Many also have perished and have erred and sinned for women. So you could perish You can sin, you can err after a woman, trying to find that fine woman, man, who's not in the truth. Same thing with you women. Just that quick. You can fall out the truth. Look at Samson. Samson fell out the truth like that. He wanted a Philistine woman. His pops was like, well, you need to get you a woman of your own stock. Stop chasing after them heathen women. He refused. And what happened? He got his eyes put out. And then he got killed. He killed himself. He was the first terrorist of Israel. Many Philistines took out the whole building. Sirach, let's go to Sirach chapter 15. Sirach 15 verse 19. Sirach chapter 15 and 19. And his eyes are upon them that fear him, and he knoweth every work of man. He knoweth every work that you do, every single work. See, what kind of worship do you have? Do you have worship for him, or do you have worship for the world? He hath commanded no man to do wickedly, neither hath he given any man license to sin. None of us have been given. Some of us think we have a license to sin. All right? There's instances where we actually believe that we could get away with certain things. I knew a brother, and the brother may be listening, but I'll tell you this, the brother thought that he was straight from the loins of King David. He thought he was straight from the loins of King David. He knew in his heart that he came out of the bloodline of King David. Now, that's where the Most High says, don't be confused with genealogies, right? And so because he thought he came from the loins of King David, this brother thought that he could commit adultery like King David. That's how off he was. He said, well, if King David could commit adultery, I could commit adultery too and get away with it. Idiotic. Stupid. Don't you understand that the Most High has mercy? More mercy for some people than he does others? He could have killed them. Could have had that man's, that woman's man or husband come and kill the brother, just like that. Following some idiotic genealogy. He could be from the tribe from Benjamin, all he know. Right? But he said, no, I come straight from the loins of King David. That's just ridiculous. Ridiculous. Sirach 15 and 20. He hath commanded no man to do wickedly. See that? No man can do wickedly. Remember what Nehemiah said about Solomon? He said, did not Solomon do outlandish sinning by being with many women, many silly women or strange women? Right? He didn't have a license to sin. Neither hath he given any man license to sin. So what man actually has used his power to sin who have not seen judgment? Okay? Esau. See? Esau knows he can get away with murder right now because this is his kingdom. He can get away with murder. He can do whatever he wants. He can have as many women as he wants. He could destroy as many people as he wants. He can rain chemicals from the air on you. Like the scriptures in Deuteronomy 28 says that dust will fall down from above. You will breathe the dust from above. Right? Let's go to 2 Thessalonians 2. All the plagues of Deuteronomy are on us. We are sitting ducks. And the thing about it, we can't run from this. We cannot run from these curses. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High? Of that or that is worship, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Look at Jerusalem today. That is not our people. Revelation 2 and 9. Those are the synagogue of Satan. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you this, or these things. And now you know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time. That's what we're waiting on. The man who has the license to sin is the man of iniquity. Verse 7. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let. Who's going to let? The Most High is going to let it out. Until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Most High shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. That's our job. To consume all these nations. To condemn this place by the word of the Most High. We are consuming this earth right now with the word of the Most High. Think about it though. Think about this. We go out every Shabbat and they never report it. They never report it. Here we are going out all over the world on the Shabbat and they don't even report it. That should make you think right there. Why are they not reporting it? Why do they have an evil report about what we're saying? They don't even have nothing good to say about us. Nothing. Okay? Because we are condemning this nation. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness, and them that perish because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. He's condemning our people. He's got them all caught up in all these different vanities. Festivals. Verse 11. And for this cause the Most High shall send them strong delusion, that they shall believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. See? Pleasure. See? Verse 13. But we are bound to give thanks always to the Most High for you, brethren, beloved of the Most High, because the Most High hath from the beginning chosen you to salvation, through sanctification of the Spirit and belief of the truth. That's why I said it's 1 in a billion to get this truth. 1 in a billion or 1 in a million. Beautiful to be in this truth, Akron. Go to Psalms chapter 14. Are there any questions so far? Any questions? Psalms chapter 14, verse 2. The Most High looketh down from heaven upon the children of men, to see if there were any that did understand and seek the Most High. They are all gone aside. They are all together become filthy. There is none that doeth good, no, not one. See? Have all the workers of iniquity no knowledge? Remember what we just read? In Thessalonians it says that he is the iniquity of all. So this is during our captivity right here that I'm reading in Psalms 14. This is during our captivity. We are being condemned constantly by an evil force in this world. It says, who eat up my people as they eat bread and call not upon the Most High. They don't call upon the Most High. Our people are washed, man. They are just done. Yeah, done. Now he says there is no understanding within all the other nations that rule over us because they don't teach us his ways. The us is Israel. Let me show you what I'm speaking of. In this Bible, we are all understanding that every word is pure per Proverbs 30:5, which is true. But let me show you how even in these scriptures, the enemy rules over us by hiding us within the scriptures, flipping Israel into Gentiles. Okay? He flips it. Purposely, he flips it. Acts chapter 15. Check this out. Acts 15 and verse 16. Acts 15 and 16. After this I will return and will rebuild or build again the tabernacle of David, which is fallen down, and I will build again the ruins thereof, and I will set it up, that the residue of men might seek after the Most High, and all the Gentiles upon whom my name is called, saith the Most High. who doeth all these things. All right, so now look at this. Where is Israel if he's going to rebuild the house of David? Where are they at? Where are they at? Look at that. Look at those two verses. Where is Israel? Nowhere. He said that he's going to call the Gentiles by their name, by his name. Now, when we go to the precept, let's go to the precept real quick. If David's tabernacle is going to be built by all the Gentile nations underneath the Most High's footstool, then something is wrong. Something is wrong. Let's go to the Old Testament. This is how you analyze the scriptures, man. This is how you being condemned. Every word is pure. We understand that, but little words was changed to keep us from knowing who we are and to keep the world from understanding that it's all about a certain people. I'm trying to get to Amos. Here we go. Amos. Let's go to Amos, Amos 9 and 11. Now this is the same precept. Amos 9 and 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen. That's what we read in Acts. And close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. Same exact verse. Verse 12. That they may possess the remnant of Edom and of all the heathen. Why did they take that out of there in the book of Acts? Which are called by my name, saith the Most High, that doeth this. See, it says, who are going to possess the remnant of Edom and of all the heathen, which are called by my name, saith the Most High, that doeth this. This is talking about Israel possessing these people as a what? Servants and handmaids. Who does he start off with that we're going to possess? Edom. Why did they take that out of the New Testament? Verse 13. Behold, the days come, saith the Most High, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper. Who's on the bottom and who is on the top? We're the plowmen, they're the reaper. We're going to overtake them. We're going to overtake. We're going to take the kingdom. So we are still talking about the 12 tribes seeking the Most High and ruling over their enemies. Let's go to Hebrews. That's why I say you have to dissect these scriptures. Hebrews 11. We're going to have servants in the new kingdom. We got to have servants to rule the kingdom. Hebrews 11 and verse 6. 11 and 6. But without faith it is impossible to please him, for he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Okay, so Israel has to seek the Most High for all of this to change over into the house of David. If we do not seek the kingdom, the house of David tabernacle will not be rebuilt. We have to seek him. If we don't seek him, then we will not make it. Jeremiah 50 and 4. Let's go there real quick. That's why the Gentiles do not want us to know that we're Israel. That's why. That's why they'll preach in their Sunday churches all day long about the Gentiles to be saved, but they won't state why the Gentiles are going to be preserved. They're going to be preserved for handmaids and servants. Jeremiah 50 and 4. It says, in those days and in that time, saith the Most High, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah together, going and weeping. They shall go and seek the Most High their power. They shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, come and let us join ourselves to the Most High in a perpetual covenant. All right, that's the new covenant. Have we done that yet? We haven't done that yet. We're trying to get there. We're trying to fill that glass. In a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. My people have been lost sheep. See that? This is why they don't mention us in the New Testament. We are lost. And they're going to try to keep it that way. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place. All that found them have devoured them. See? And their adversary said, we offend not because they have sinned against the Most High. The habitation of justice, even the Most High, the hope of their fathers. So the Most High is going to remove out of the midst of Babylon and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans and be as he-goats before the flocks. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in an array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. The Most High is going to raise us up again. That's the house of David. That's the tabernacle of David that we're reading about. He's going to take us out of Babylon. That's the tabernacle of David. That's Acts chapter 15, 16 through 17. That's Amos 9, 11 through 12. This is when he's going to take us back up to the old place that we came from and make a new covenant with us. See, people don't understand when Hamashiach Yahawashi said he was making that new covenant. I did a video last week or so showing how the new covenant works. We're in the new covenant trying to get to the peak end. We're trying to get to the sign off. Hosea chapter 3. Hosea 3. So we have to get this understanding. Many brothers are not really teaching this, man. But they need to start teaching us more how we're going to get to the kingdom. It's a work in process. Hosea chapter 3 verse 4. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king, and without a prince, and without a sacrifice, and without an image, and without an ephod, and without a teraphim. Now all of these things we haven't had since the split of Judah and Ephraim. We haven't had no king. The Assyrians, when we went into captivity, when the 10 tribes went there, we had no king. When Judah went into captivity, we had no king. We had no king. We haven't had a king even during the Greeks or the Romans. We haven't had a king. Where's our king? All the way to now, we have not had a king. We have not had an image. We have not had a prince. We haven't had an ephod. We haven't had teraphim. Look at verse 5. Afterwards shall the children of Israel return. That's the tabernacle of David again. And seek the Most High their power, and David their king, and shall fear the Most High, and his goodness in the latter days. See? That's the tabernacle. Again. Let's go to Psalms 89. I'm showing you brothers how to get to the kingdom, how we're going to do it. Psalms 89 and 18. For the Most High is our defense, and the Holy One of Israel is our king, which goes right back to what we started this whole topic with. Can sinners be forgiven? We have to first seek out the Most High to be forgiven. In order for us to hear him and him to hear us, we have to seek out his name. I read this again. Psalms 89 verse 18. For the Most High is our defense, and the Holy One of Israel is our king. Then thou speakest in vision to thy Holy One, and saith, I have laid help upon one that is mighty. I have exalted one chosen out of the people. Who's that one? Hamashiach Yahawashi, who the world calls Jesus Christ. I have found David, my servant, with my holy oil. Have I anointed him, with whom my hand shall be established? Mine arm also shall strengthen him. The enemy shall not exalt him, nor the son of wickedness afflict him. Understand, if we're going to build the tabernacle of David, let me ask you, brother, what was the name? What did the Most High call King David? What did he call him? Can somebody tell me what the Most High called King David? What was King David to the Most High? How did the Most High feel about him? Anybody know how the Most High felt about King David when he was on the earth? Any answers, any questions, any comments, anybody know? Come on, Akim, y'all been listening for a while. Y'all should know why the Most High loved King David. What did he do that was different than all other kings? What made him special amongst the Most High? Anybody tell me? What did he do?
That's the Most High's law.
Yeah, that's it, but that's not what the Most High, that's not what he, that's not why he chose him. Anybody else?
Are you asking the one who was heard?
What was so special about him? Why did the Most High love him more than anybody?
Because he was humble.
Who said that? Who said that?
I said that because he was humble amongst his brethren.
Right. He was the apple of Most High's heart. He had a heart of forgiveness. That's what made the Most High love him more than anybody else, man. And if the Most High saw King David as that, and if we're going to build up the tabernacle of David, guess what? We all got to be just as humble as King David was. His name is all over. That was the name of King David. He was humble. He forgave. He had a heart of forgiveness. You see what his right-hand man, Joab was a thorn in his side. Joab was the one that gave his son Absalom the sword to kill his own brother. Joab was killing King David's sons left from right. But King David kept forgiving them. King David loved Israel. So we have to exemplify that same type of spirit that King David had. You see? In order for us to build up the tabernacle of King David, that's why YAHAWASHI came. He says, but love is in the spirit. Meekness, peace, humility. That's the tabernacle of King David. If we're going to get there, that's how we have to be, just like King David was. We have to have a humility type spirit, man. Not a dominating, overlord type spirit. Boots on the ground, we're going to make you march all the way. Not that type of spirit, man. Look at how destroyed Israel is. Yeah, does Israel need strength? Yes, Israel does need strength. But Israel is afraid to walk up to you. Israel is still fighting for the enemies. To love them more than they love us. We have to exemplify how Israel should love. We have to show them. So we have to have that same type of spirit that King David had. You see? Verse 25. Let's go back. I'll start at 24. Psalms 89:24. But my faithfulness and my mercy shall be with him, and in my name shall his horn be exalted. I will set his hand also in the sea, and his right hand in the rivers. He shall cry unto me, Thou art my Father, my God, my power, and the rock of my salvation, and I will make him my firstborn, higher than the kings of the earth. My mercy will I keep for him forever, evermore, and my covenant shall stand fast with him. His seed also will I make to endure forever, and his throne as the days of heaven. If his children forsake my law, who is the children? Us. We are the children. And walk not in my judgments, if they break my statutes and keep not my commandments, then will I visit their transgressions with the rod. He's going to punish us like a father. And their iniquity with stripes. Nevertheless, my loving kindness will I not utterly take from him. Why? Because he never took it from King David. He never took his love from King David. He forgave King David because King David had a merciful and a forgiving spirit as well. He forgave others. We have to be just like King David, Akim. This is what Israel has to learn. This is what we have to learn. Let's go to Revelation chapter 2. So Yahawashi came with that spirit.